Hello crafty friends, this is the Papered Chef here. In today's video, I'm going to share 16 projects I created using products from the August to December mini catalog, also called, well, I'm calling it the holiday catalog. Okay, I mainly used this suite called the Snowflake Splendor. I'm going to go over the products in this suite, and then as I show you the projects that I created, I'm going to share how I used many other coordinating products from this mini catalog. Okay, and then this is the whole suite. Okay, I'll go over each product in the suite, but I also wanted to say that earlier when I did, hi Carolyn and Bree, earlier when I did a video, I kept on calling this frosted floral, this paper. So I just want to correct that. Hi Yvonne, it's called Feels Like Frost. It's not called frosted floral. Maybe it should be. That's what it reminds me of. So it's called Feels Like Frost. So I made these projects using either Feels Like Frost, Designer Series paper, or I created the projects using the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. And I'll go over all the products in the suite, but I don't think I have any more Designer Series paper to show you, like single pieces. I mean, I'm down to scraps, literally down to scraps. These are, this paper, it comes in this paper here. Let me start with this paper. The Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper comes in sheets of 12 by 12. 12 inch by 12 inch. It's a watercolored look. I didn't do this. I could have done this, but I didn't have to do this. It's already watercolored like this. Hi, Gail. See, so this paper is amazing in that you don't have to do a lot to the backgrounds. It's already just fun and textured, and you're going to get to see through my projects how that works out. And then this paper, this Feels Like Frost, on one side, the specialty paper is frosted with silver, and on the other side, it's like photorealistic. So you're going to get to see how I use that. Now this suite has many coordinating colors. And the one I want to point out is Highland Heather, because you're going to see a lot of purple throughout my projects, and that kind of really made an interesting winter background. Okay, Balmy Blue Glimmer paper is what I made a lot of the snowflakes with. Hi, Lori and Yvonne. I used the adhesive gems on some of the rhinestones. The adhesive rhinestones on some of the snowflakes, I should say. This ribbon is pretty awesome. I used that on my 3D treats. This ribbon is called Snowflake Splendor Ribbon. Okay, and then I used some other gems from other parts of this catalog. All right, so let's jump into it. And my table's a mess. I just had another video earlier where I showed how to use... I showed about the die cutting machine, the new stamping and embossing machine, and I wanted to show you all the projects in there, but the video got to be about an hour and I wanted to stop. But I did show how to cut out these snowflakes in that video. So if you missed it and you want to see how to cut out these snowflakes, it's so easy. And you can cut them out using the new Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right, so let me get rid of the catalog to make some room. All right, at the heart of everything I did, every single project I'm going to show you, with maybe one exception, has at least one die cut snowflake. Yeah, Yvonne, I don't highly recommend it. I recommend it, but I say not highly, meaning I highly recommend it if you don't have a die cutting machine. Okay, let's put it that way, Yvonne. I'm going to be straight. If you have a die cutting machine and it works for you, and you can't afford a new one, then use what you have, and you can use our dies with your machine. But if you don't have another machine, I highly recommend it. I'm just not going to tell people to spend money they don't have. That's just not how I am. But it's a good machine. I liked it. It's very smooth. In fact, it was very easy to crank. I didn't hear any cracking noises, and I didn't break anything. And, it worked, and it stuck on my table really well. All right, so back to the snowflakes. This here, these three are the ones that are like good for cutting single snowflakes. And these ones here are more to die cut through a piece of cardstock. So I didn't get into this yet. I will, but I was making cards for someone. I was making some Christmas cards. So these two are to cut out stamped images. I was trying to make more like 3D elements, and I was trying to make it so they're easy to mail, and so that's kind of how I got into it. All right, so let's start. So Snowflake Wishes. So I was telling you about the Highland Heather, and I just like how you can use Highland Heather as a card base. And then it pulls the purple, the purplish out of this Snowflake Splendor paper. because it pulls that color up. And other coordinating colors you probably saw were Night of Navy. You could see the Night of Navy in there. And this here is Balmy Blue. And I wanted to show you that last night. Let's see. I wanted to actually do a video of this, but I didn't get a chance to, so let's just do this real quick. This is what I did here. Okay, so what I do when I make cards, and I'm about to show you a lot of cards, I do everything in mass production style. Okay, so I like do all my die cutting. I die cut before I stamp. I don't stamp and then die cut. I'm not sure what I'm going to stamp onto these yet, so I get my die cut shapes. Okay, but I did use coordinating colors. Like this one, I stamped this one in Night of Navy and this one in Pacific Point. These are just different coordinating colors. Okay, so then what I do later is I put the snowflakes on them. So let's put a couple snowflakes on this so you can see what I mean. This is Balmy Blue, and the snowflakes are from Snowflake Wishes. Okay, that's what I'm about to show you. I just want to show you how I did. You know, when I'm ready, I would put the coordinate. So Night of Navy goes with a lot of different things, but Balmy Blue does not. Balmy Blue goes with the Snowflake Splendor paper, but Balmy Blue was not one of the colors in the Feels Like Frost paper. So I hope you're following me. If I was going to use the Feels Like Frost paper, I would then take this and substitute this for Seaside Spray, a different light blue color. So I don't do the snowflakes until later, depending on what kind of card I'm going to put this on. And so this Night of Navy would stay. It would still be Night of Navy. Night of Navy would match, but the snowflakes wouldn't match. So that's why I do the snowflakes last. All right, so to do the snowflakes, I do what's called off stamping, or stamp off, where you stamp onto your mat first, and then you stamp on to your Whisper White. Pretty cool, right? So you're not making a dark snowflake, you're making a light snowflake. You can do this inside your cards, to your envelopes. I'll do it again. Okay, so these are photopolymer stamps. I'll do one with this other style because I always like to put, you know, a couple of snowflakes here. I'll just do one like over here, maybe like that, maybe like over there a little bit. Okay, so that's how I did those. So first I used the sentiment with the solid color, like the Pacific Point or Night of Navy, or sometimes I use Pretty Peacock. You're going to see why, because Pretty Peacock was a coordinating color with that other paper. All right, so that's what I did. And then these I use glimmer paper. I use glimmer paper. Let me get rid of that. Silver foil and Balmy Blue glimmer paper. This glimmer paper might be retired, I'm not sure. All right, let's put that one down. Now I'm going to talk about the embossing folders. Okay, embossing folders are pretty awesome. This is just a regular embossing folder. It's not even a 3D one. It was so easy to use. I showed how to use this today earlier today. Okay, and so I'm just going to show you the inside of this one. This is part of this suite. Oh yeah, I'm going to show the examples on foil. So let's see, Winter Snow. I have to look up the names of this. Winter Snow embossing folder. So I did it with silver foil earlier. And normally this is a sentiment I put inside the card. But I was trying to like change it up and put different sentiments on the outside of the card. So that, just notice something about the stamp set though. See how small it is on the front and you're thinking, oh, that's a small sentiment. No, it's a double stamp set. It's double. And don't worry that your stamps get stained. It's no big deal. See, look how big the sentiments are. They're bigger than what you see on the outside of the package. Pretty cool, right? So it was a big enough sentiment to put on the outside of the card. And so that's what I did there. Now I have a couple other samples I'm going to show you of ones I did with other colors of foil. Let me turn my light away for a second. Woo, let me turn my light the other direction. There you go. So you can see, this is our new red and green foil from our holiday catalog, our mini catalog. This is our red and green foil package. This comes in my deluxe paper share, which I'm doing on the paperedchef.com. I do have a deluxe paper share that you get the specialty papers. This is a piece of gold foil from the annual catalog. And when I say catalog, everything's online. Okay. So I like the way that those look with in foil, when you emboss in foil. Okay, I'll show you another embossed card in a little while, but that's balmy blue glimmer paper. Now this ribbon here is something that was in, it's called Magic. There's this suite called Magic in This Night. This is called wire mesh ribbon. And I thought not only for Halloween did this look good, but this looks good for, you know, just putting, like making it look like ice a little bit. So it looks a little bit like ice. Okay, so that's wire mesh ribbon, and it's really easy to tie. And I used it to tie my treats. Okay, so I'll show you my treats in a minute. They're sitting right over there. We're just going to show you some more snowflake cards. Now, here's what I was talking about, how you take, so this is, by the way, this card base here is balmy blue because I was using the Snowflake Splendor Suite. Then when I was using the Feels Like Frost paper, I started using different coordinating colors. So now we're talking Pretty Peacock. This is Pretty Peacock. Coordinating colors make a difference. If you've ever gone to like a Michael's and you've said, oh, look, and I've done this, so I'm not judging, okay? Three packs of cardstock for $10, right? And you buy all this cardstock, and then you get home and none of it coordinates with anything you have, and it's all like really thin. It's not good cardstock to make cards out of, and then you're like, none of the colors really coordinate with anything you have. Stampin' Up! Is not like that. We have everything coordinates. Of course, this is something, I'm using something from the Noble Peacock Suite. This one is retired, but it's still Pretty Peacock foil with Pretty Peacock background. This is, you can still get Pretty Peacock. It's one of our ink colors from last year. You can still get this cardstock for one more year. This paper has Pretty Peacock. It pulls out the color of Pretty Peacock in the scene, in the winter scene. And then these little snowflakes, they're in our holiday catalog as well. Okay, and I have those. They come on sheets, and there's like 2 colors of those. So let's see if I have those. Here we go. See how there's like two different shades of these. So you can I put 6 of them on there, and then you have like this other spot. You can make your cards sparkle even more with these little adhesive makers. So anyway, so you get good color coordination, and you just you look up the colors. Now this is Pretty Peacock ink. So if you're ever wondering, oh, why does that card look, better than a different card? Well, it's probably because it's all coordinated. The colors coordinate. You're pulling out the colors, and then again. Now I'm using, this is again balmy blue, but now I'm using Seaside spray. This is Seaside spray, and Seaside spray pulls out the color. This is some. I think it had like purple posy in it. I mean, the Feels Like Frost has so many colors in it. Yeah, it has Highland Heather again, but it also has purple posy, and it has Rococo Rose, and it has all these other shades of purple, but not the same shades of blue except for Night of Navy. So there I'm pulling out the color. When I say pulling out, I'm not actually pulling out the color. I'm talking about your eyes pulling out the color. Like these colors coordinate. This is Seaside spray, this little piece here. This little piece, this is Seaside spray. So the colors are coordinated. This is Pretty Peacock. And there's the little gem inside the snowflake I was talking about. Those little rhinestone gems. Okay, so this here is something you probably already have. If you're a Stampin' Up! Person, which I know a lot of you are, you probably have this one from last year. I mean, I think I did so many videos on this that everybody was excited about these tag treats I did last year. I'd made these tag treats out of the snow. We made snowman tag treats. We did things with our scan and cut. We did things with our punches. We did snowman builder punch. We did layered snowman. We did all kinds of stuff with this stamp set last year. But Let It Snow, it's just such a fun font. And that's what I used on that card there. That snowman season is what I'm using. All right. Okay, let's show you this treat because it has to do with this die here. See all these dies? How this die, and this die. They're stitched dies. And I like stitched dies, and I like how the machines do stitched dies. It's really fun. And this is here. This is the little treat box die. This one, and it has a little, let me reach over my table. Everything is sort of propped up here. All right, I have a random stamp from another set stuck on my case. Let's pull this guy off. This has nothing to do with this set. Let me pull this guy off and put him back in the stamp set he goes with. All right, sticking him back in there. All right, now we're back to this little treats. Okay. this little treats bundle, whenever you buy something in a bundle, you save 10%. So this is my new favorite die. This one here inside the mini catalog or holiday catalog. This little treats die. I've been using, you know, the little treat for someone sweet over and over. I've been using this die here, this round die, this little die for layering. Okay, all kinds of stuff. So that's what I really like. And then that's what the snowflakes are from, the Snowflake Splendor Suite, but then that's where that little die came from. A Night of Navy. And then for this one I used, this is a tag treat. Shown you how to do this many times. Fancy tag topper punch. Okay, so that's what I use for that. Fancy tag topper punch. All right, so now let's make some room and do some more cards. Oh, and I do have Tic Tac treat kits. Maybe I'll mention that later when we see how much time this video takes. All right, Snowflake Splendor, moving along. Okay, this dies here. Again, they're stitched and they're layered, and these are called the, hold on, let me think for a second. It's from the So Sentimental bundle. The So Sentimental bundle has these dies in it. Stitched So Sweetly, they're called. They're called the Stitched So Sweetly dies. And I use those a lot. And then I used my Scan and Cut to emboss the Christmas tree. I embossed it with my Scan and Cut because I did teach how to emboss last year. How to make little lines using an embossing kit. You had to use an embossing starter kit. Another whole topic entirely. But you can emboss with embossing folders as well. If you want to emboss Christmas trees with embossing folders, you can make a lot of texture on your little trees and things like I showed in the video earlier today. But you can also emboss with your Scan and Cut. Let's see. Different colors of snowflakes. Oh, this one is from this here, Most Wonderful Time. The angel is embossed from Most Wonderful Time. It's a die, and it's part of the medley. Okay, and then I use the same paper again. It feels like frost. Okay, now here's the feels like frost with the right. This is the one side, the foiled side, and the other side is the side that's photorealistic. So for this, I used a purple posy background. Again, I'm working on the coordinating colors. I'm making sure everything matches and coordinates. And so this is a purple posy card base. And now I'm using Pretty Peacock because now I'm working with the coordinating colors. I'm using Seaside Spray. These are in colors. You know, Seaside Spray and Pretty Peacock and Purple Posy. And see, so they're blank inside. Most of my cards are blank inside except for a couple where I had to cover up a mistake and they're not blank inside. Snowflake Wishes for a Merry Christmas. This is Blueberry Bushel Foil from the Noble Peacock Suite from last time. Okay. Last time meaning last catalog, that foil. Okay, again, this is that other kind of snowflake. This one was a little bit more delicate. This snowflake has a little thin piece in the middle there. You know, like a thin layer. So you have to be careful with that one. And I showed how to make stickers out of your snowflakes. You can just adhere them with glue, but you can also turn them into stickers. I like that sentiment. Our friendship is one of a kind. All right, so then I started using this other stamp set here, which I just had a minute ago. Okay. So this stamp set here I use for a couple projects. It's called Wrapped in Christmas. So the next couple cards I'm going to show you. Let me just stand this one up over here. See this one opens this way. So I just have them opening different ways. Top, side, bottom. Let me put that over here. So this here, this is part of another bundle called Heartwarming Hugs Suite. And I used the Peace on Earth, and I used Let the Joy of the Season Fill Your Heart. Okay, so I'll show you the Peace on Earth. This is from the little treat box dies. Again, I just have those right here. The little treat box dies have a lot more to them, or a couple more. I think I lost my spider. I can't find my little spider, but it has a cute little ring. I didn't lose the ring, but it's just not here. The ring. I mean, just so you know, the little treat box has other things in it. See, you can make little rings. All kinds of stuff with the little treat box. So I love it. I love this set of dies. All right, back to this treat. So that's where I got this treat here. I did the Peace on Earth with the Night of Navy. The Balmy Blue. I used Balmy Blue for the snowflakes. I used the wire mesh ribbon. I used the Angel from Most Wonderful Time. And I used the stars from the Stitched Stars dies. And these, again, have Tic Tacs in them. I'm doing Tic Tacs this time of year because my nuggets melt. You can normally put nuggets into little treats like this, but I'm using the mini Tic Tacs. And these are what my kits, I can kind of show you what a kit looks like. All right, back that over there. And then another one of the 3D treats, Let It Snow. You saw how that was this stamp set here, Let It Snow. Again, Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper. But this snowflake's a little different in that I didn't emboss. I used the poinsettia, the plush poinsettia paper. I used the plush poinsettia paper. Hey, hi Anna, welcome. Yeah, you can watch the replay later. This is just another unannounced live. I just like to just come on when I have projects to show. Actually, I'm going to be mailing these off, so I wanted to show my crafty friends before I mail all these projects. Where was I? Snowflake Splendor. Oh, these, I was talking about these. These are like vellum. This is the new plush poinsettia Designer Series paper. And it's part of my specialty. Again, I have a Holiday Deluxe Designer Series paper share. I have a regular holiday paper share. Hi, Sheila. And in that, in there, you can get some plush poinsettia, but it really does a cool job of curling up. Like I didn't have to curl it. Now, normally when you like make flowers 3D, you have to curl them with the side of your bone folder. This, when you cut vellum, it just curls anyway, so it kind of looks cool. It looks like 3D snowflakes. So that's plush poinsettia snowflakes. Let's see if I have any more to kind of show you without being attached with glue. And you can curl anything you want with a bone folder, but you know, it's just a nicer. Yeah, here's one. See that? Can you see that? It's vellum. So you can emboss. I didn't have to emboss the vellum. You can use embossed vellum, which is the plush poinsettia paper, to make your snowflakes out of. So if you don't have all the exact paper I have, you know, like if you don't have the Balmy Blue Glimmer paper, this is part of the deluxe paper share as well. You'll get the red and green foil. You'll get lots of different things. Okay. So anyway, that's on the paperchef.com. That's the blue-green foil on the holiday. This is the red-green foil in the holiday catalog, and that was the Balmy Blue. This is the Balmy Blue Glimmer paper. Yes, Snowman Season is part of our. Yes, it's available. It's part of our annual catalog. But again, I don't want to use the word catalog and think you can't buy stuff online. Here, you can get. Whenever I say catalog, just go to the website. It's linked in the description of this video, paperchef.stampinup.net. How cool is this stamp set? You can make your own little snowman with the Snowman Builder Punch. Okay, so we were using this all last year. I made like 1,000 snowmen with this punch. And we usually use the scan and cut to make snowmen, where I showed you how to stamp the arms on first to attach them to the snowman. And then we cut it out as one whole thing, so you didn't have to glue the arms on later. And the hat, I showed you how to stamp the hat on there and just cut it all out at once. And we even made the little hat so the line when it hit there. And we used the pencil trick. Anyway, I did so many things with this stamp set last year. I made nugget treats. I made boxes. We made tag treats. We did all kinds of stuff with that snowman punch. Anyway, what are we talking about? This stamp set here, Wrapped in Christmas. Back to this stamp set. I have a couple cards made that I used this here. Let the joy of the season fill your heart. Okay, so here are my two cards with that. And again, I didn't have to watercolor these backgrounds. Okay, so I just want to tell you how much time that saves and how great that is that the paper came this way. It looks like I did all this spraying and brayer and watercoloring. And I mean, I didn't have to do that. This paper, the Snowflake Splendor Designer Series paper, which is also part of the regular paper share, the holiday catalog paper share, it is just amazing. It has like this watercolor look already to it. Okay, and then so this one was Balmy Blue. One of the coordinating colors, Balmy Blue. And this one is Pool Party. Okay, that's Pool Party. And then these two I stamped in I think this one, they're both Pacific Point, I believe. I stamped them in Pacific Point with balmy blue snowflakes in the background and lots of glimmer and shimmer. And see how I used those little rhinestones in the middle and some extra snowflakes. Now this little tree, this balmy blue glimmer paper tree is from another die set called the Cuckoo Clock dies. Okay, so I use everything basically. I use anything and everything at my disposal. I have my still left to show you are my favorite card and my favorite little 3D project. But let's see if I showed you my other 3D projects. I'd show you this one. And I just want to show you something about this too. All right, so this here, I made this little, I showed how to cut this. I showed how to emboss these little trees last night or yesterday. No, this morning. We're in different time zones, so I have to just try to get that straight. It was this morning. And this is the mini curvy keepsake die. Okay, so that's what that is. And I love that box from the annual catalog. Let me make a little bit of room. I want to show you something. So when I showed the new embossing machine, I showed, we very easily, we put a piece of paper in there. We put some paper in here. I said thin whisper white. Hi, Susan. And I said, oh, you know, you can get the whisper white and you can just dye it. So what I want to show you is this. I want to show you how I got this effect. Okay, so this is whisper white. I embossed it, and with a piece of, and then this is using balmy blue. So I want to show you how to get that effect. Very, very easy, but I just had no room on my table. I had a couple avalanches while I was trying to do the video. If there's things falling up, you take any light color that's going to coordinate with your project, right? And you open it up, and there's stickers on the bottom of your stamps from Stampin' Up, so you can put the sticker on the top so you know what it is, especially if you have a lot of stamp pads open at the same time. Now what I like to do is I like to roll my brayer across the ink, like instead of going back and forth like this, it'll never ink up evenly. So I like to just keep going in one direction, okay, evenly. And then I like to also go in one direction when I'm inking onto the paper, but then at the end when I can't get the corners done, I go back and forth in more than one direction. Okay, so you're just going like this. Okay, and it's gonna bring out those snowflakes. You can actually see them better just by me doing that. You can actually see them better. I'm just gonna do this one side. It'll be like do you ever go to a Mary Kay party where they only put makeup on half your face? You're like, thanks a lot. You only put makeup on half my face. Well, that's what I'm gonna do to this piece of whisper white cardstock here. Okay, so I'm gonna bring that up closer to the camera because I know you're probably getting dizzy. But when you ink up a paper, you end up with, and at the end I do go back and forth only to get the corners done. But I just go in one direction to get it even, but then when I want the corners a little darker, I do go back and forth. Okay, so now you have this effect. So that's how you ink up your embossing folder. Now you can also ink, and I'll do something with my Ink It Up series where I actually ink right onto the embossing folder. Because you can ink right onto this before you put it through the embossing folder as well. There's advantages and disadvantages of each method. Okay, but then you end up with the card background. And then these are the snowflake stickers we made in that video, during that live video. And you see this is still balmy blue, but you just keep going. The more you keep going, the darker it becomes. I mean, the darker and the more you're bringing out those snowflakes. All right, so with that said, I'm going to show you my favorite card, and then we'll show you my 3D project. So here's my favorite card that I made using this series, or using this suite, I should say, not series. Because I took the designer series paper, and I used the embossing folder. You can see that, hopefully. Oh, I turned my light away. Let me turn my light back. Here we go. My light can come back now. So this is a little bit inking so that you can get so you can see the 3D effect. And then that feels like frost. And then this is a piece of playing with patterns. This little piece here is playing with patterns. So I'm using 3 kinds of designer series paper on this, actually 4, no, 3 kinds. 3 kinds of designer series paper on this one card. So this is a Highland Heather background. This here's Snowflake Splendor. This here is Playing with Patterns, just this one little strip. It has some Night of Navy and some purple posy in it, I believe, or something. And then this here is the Feels Like Frost. And then I have the Stitch So Sweetly dies. So that was my favorite of the cards I made, and I like the way the purple comes out. All right, last project is my 3D project, another 3D project. Oh, and I also, yeah, I showed how to make a couple other things on the video, but I'm not going to get into that because not available. But this one here is called Thank You, Bree, and Hi, Susan. All right, this here is the mini paper pumpkin box, okay? Say that fast. Oh, you guys are going to love this kit, by the way. Paper pumpkin is coming. They've already shipped my kits, so I can't wait to show it to you. I haven't seen the actual sneak peek, but it looks like it's going to be super cool with the cards. Cards for Heroes this month. Next month is a paper. It's an actual autumn and Halloween thing. But anyway, these are paper pumpkin boxes. Paper pumpkin kits don't come in boxes this small. It's just shaped like a paper pumpkin kit. So that's why we call these the mini paper pumpkin boxes. And I did a video on how to cut out all these pieces with your scan and cut. So you don't actually have to take a paper trimmer to get these pieces exactly the way you want them. So this is, I didn't have anything inside this one. I mean, I'm going to put something inside this one. So thank you so much is one of the sentiments, right? Thank you so much. See, I like that. And I'm going to show you the inside because I did decorate the inside. This die here, again, I like to use things from anywhere and everywhere. This die is part of this. We have this coffee cup thing. It's called the Heartwarming Hug Suite. And you could decorate coffee cups and mini coffee cups. And that's where that die came from, that other suite. Because like I told you, I cut out all my dies first. I just go around and I cut out all these shapes first. And then I have loads and loads of shapes, and then I stamp them. I don't stamp them all, but I have them ready and I stamp them and I get them ready. And then I have them all from different suites, and then I make my projects. So that's how I do my projects. That's why I might put the snowflakes on later, but I do my stamping ahead of time. But anyway, so that's where I got that die from. This little guy, you can get from the Heartwarming Hug Suite. The glitter star ornaments. Okay, so just extra little touches. And I bought the whole suite. I bought the whole Heartwarming Hug Suite, and I bought the whole Snowflake Splendor Suite. So that's why I have so many extra little embellishments. Okay, so that's where I dangled this little guy off there, and then you can hide his little ribbon underneath here. I popped him up with dimensionals, and you can hide him under there. Then I did a bunch of snowflakes and a bunch of little gems, and that's it. And then I decorated the inside of the box. So that is the Snowflake Splendor paper. All over. Inside the box, inside here. There. See, notice how I can decorate the flaps. I can decorate this flap and that flap. And the sides. And the sides. And I could stamp here. May your seasons sparkle. That would go nice in there. Here, we'll do this one. We'll put that one inside there. But I wanted to make sure, I had enough for my cards before I did any. I'm just grabbing my Seal Plus, and I'll wrap things up. But before I decorated the inside of the box, I wanted to make sure I had enough for my cards. So that's the Seal Plus. Pretty cool adhesive. I like the Seal Plus better than the Seal. So there you go. There you have it. And then these little treats, you could ship them in there. You could put them in there like that. I actually don't ship them like that, but I usually ship them in another different way. But I do have what's called, so I'm going to show you. So for these guys, if you're into making these little, I'm just wrapping things up now. I'm done showing you, I think I'm done showing you my 16 projects. Who knows? If not, close enough. So what I want to show you now is that I do have these kits that I have on my, how long I'll be doing it. Right now I have time to do it, so soon I will not have time to do them. And they're all made to order, so you can order Tic Tac treat kits. Every kit's going to be different, so what I'm showing you right now might not be like exactly what you see, but you can get Tic Tac kit, and you're going to get 2 treats completely made. Maybe it'll be these 2 treats. Maybe it'll be these 2 treats. They're going to be completely made, but that's the only ones I can make for you are the 2 that I give you as a sample, because we're not allowed to send Stampin' Up. I can't send you stamped images pre-stamped. I'm not allowed to stamp these little pieces of paper. But I can, and I have saved you loads and loads of time for my crafty friends by giving you different little things that you can stamp yourself. So I can give you die cut shapes. I just can't give you fully stamped images. Because if I did that, then people, I guess, wouldn't buy our stamp set. It makes sense. I mean, we're an American company. We don't want to go out of business, right? Because we want people to actually buy our stamp sets. So I adhere to my rules is all I'm saying. Okay, so our policies, I should say, as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So I have a kit though, and the kit comes with enough to have. You have 2 treats completely made. Thanks, Bree. I'm glad you like my kits. This is 2 treats completely made. And then I give you all the stuff to make 4, 5, 6, 8 more. So you're gonna. So this is a sample. Again, it's not the exact kit you'll be getting because every kit's different. So I use the fancy tag topper punch. I punched lots of things to make these treats for you. I've already done all the scoring. I've already done all the cutting, the scoring, the ribbons, the die cutting. I mean, it's taken me many, many hours to make each kit. And they're really inexpensive too. I mean, it's like I'm getting $2 an hour for this kind of job. But I'm doing it as a labor of love for my crafty friends and also to showcase my products. Fancy tag topper punch. And then I did some with the mini curvy keepsake dies. So you get 2 like that. You get 4 with the mini. You get 4 things with the mini or fancy tag topper punch. You get 2 with the mini curvy keepsake dies. Oh, good. Yvonne has one. So here's Yvonne's doing a testimonial. Thank you so much for my Tic Tac kit. I love it and can't wait to start on it this weekend. So thank you, Yvonne. You got one of the first ones, I think. So that's awesome. Okay, and so then this would be the little treat box dies. I have everything labeled, but see, I even added a ring. Ring has nothing to do with snowflakes, but I wanted to show you that this little treat box die also makes rings. I sometimes add a ring, something random. I might add an angel. I might add a Christmas tree from the cuckoo clocks dies. Whatever, I might add other things in there. Whatever I'm die cutting at the time. But every kit is different. And then you get in the kit, and it's all inside a bubble mailer. A whole thing of Tic Tacs. And, I wrap this in tissue paper. Well, I'm starting to wrap it a little better because I don't want these to crack. But you get these little mini Tic Tacs. And then you get all the stuff to make your own little treats. Right? And so that's what you get in your kit. And then I'm going to just show you. I think I have one going on. My customers have been able to say what themes they want. Okay? So I put this little thing in there. I'm like, thank you for purchasing. If you guys want to take a picture of this is my store. I have a QR code, and this goes right to my store. So I'll hold that there in the video frame. So if you take a still shot of this video frame and you take a picture, then that will go right to my store without you having to worry about Google trying to tell you that I'm the pampered chef when I'm really the papered chef and all that. Anyway, so you could pick a theme, and some people picked, some of my customers picked the theme of whale. Whale. How did I think? Here it is. Whale of a time. There it is. Whale of a time. Okay, so if they pick the theme Whale of a time, now it changes up the whole thing, doesn't it? So they're getting 2 treats already made. This is how I package my treats. I was trying to tell you, I don't package them in those mini paper pumpkin boxes. I package them in this type of thing. So they get 2 treats made. Everybody gets something different. Those are stamped. The 2 completed treats are stamped. Everything else is not stamped. Because you get so mini curvy keepsakes, again, fancy tag topper punch, and little treat box dies. I'm allowed to give you the whales. These are not stamped. This is designer series paper I cut out with my scan and cut. Okay, so this is a stamp. Just so you understand, this is a stamp. That's a stamped image. Okay, that's a stamped image. But that whale over here is from the designer series paper. And then I have kits I'm in the makings, meaning I'm not finished making these yet. I still need to add some little white things to stamp. I always give you extra things to stamp on. And this is just really a labor of love for my crafty friends, because I want you to be able to experience Stampin' Up products. If not, you don't get to see the high quality of them unless you experience them. I remember the first time I used Whisper White cardstock, I was like, oh, like I was singing. I was literally singing because I was so used to using cheap cardstock and it wasn't giving me good stamped images. And once I started using like the right kind of paper, then I was getting perfect stamped images every time. And I'm like, okay, I'm sold. I have to get this paper all the time. So that's one thing I always buy. Almost every order I'm putting Whisper White cardstock into my orders. Anyway, so that's all for now. So check it out. I have my Stampin' Up store if you want any products you saw, and I have thepaperedchef.com, thepaperedchef.com for any of my kits that if you want to see my kits, my paper shares, or anything like that. So that's all for now. This is the Papered Chef. Thanks, Yvonne, Nancy, and all of you guys who were commenting. And I love that you guys were talking about all kinds of things during this chat, because I know a lot of you have different products that you were comparing and things like that. So I'm excited to get the interaction. I'm really happy that you're all here. Thanks, Sheila. All right, that's all for now. This is the Papered Chef.